Hello and welcome back for another Fallout Cookbook cooking video. Today I'm actually going to be doing two of the recipes from the Fallout Cookbook. I'm doing the Instamash and I'm also doing the Mutant Mantis or Chicken Marsala recipes from the book. So let me get you guys turned around and we'll see what kind of ingredients we're going to need for both of these recipes. So for the Instamash, you're going to need 1 1/3 pounds of russet potatoes that have been peeled and quartered. And I'm also going to add in 1 teaspoon of salt to the water, which will help flavor our potatoes. I'm also adding in 1 sprig of rosemary and 1 bay leaf. And I'm going to put this over on the stove and let these come up to a boil and cook them until they're tender. So let me get that started and I will bring over the rest of the ingredients for the marsala. So for the chicken marsala, we are going to need 2/3 cup of flour, 1/3 cup of cornstarch, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and 2 teaspoons of dried thyme. And I'm going to go ahead and mix these all together. And this is going to be the coating for our chicken. So there we go. I'm going to set this out of my way while I go over the rest of the ingredients. We are going to also need 3 medium shallots that I have already minced up. And the white and green parts of 1 leek. I have got 7 ounces of cremini mushrooms, 4 ounces of white button mushrooms, and 5 ounces of shiitake mushrooms that I removed the stems from. You don't want to eat those. They're kind of woody and hard. But they do, if you boil them up, make a really nice rich broth. We're also going to need 3 cloves of garlic that I've already minced. I have 3 dried apricots that I've already sliced up really thin. And I've got 4 chicken breasts that I have pounded out to about of 1/2 inch thickness. The recipe calls for 3, but I have a family of 4, so I'm going to try and get my flour mixture to extend out for an extra chicken breast. We're also going to need a cup. We're also going to need a cup of sweet Marsala wine and a cup of just ordinary chicken stock. So let me get this stuff out of my way until we need it. Right, I'm going to go ahead and bring the flour back over. And all I'm going to do now is dredge the chicken right into the flour on both sides, and then I will set it aside. Now typically I decrease the amount of time that I use for the recipes in the Fallout Cookbook, but in this instance I haven't, because not all of the time is going to stick to each piece of chicken. So I felt that it was okay to go ahead and use the whole 2 teaspoons. Actually, let me grab another plate here. So while I'm dredging up these chicken breasts, I'd like to remind you of the community-driven playlist that Javica Death and I have going on our channels. If you guys would like to be a part of that, all you have to do is go out and make a cooking video and then post it to your channel once you've done that. And then let either Japik or I know, either in the comment section of our latest cooking videos, or if you are a part of his Discord server, you can let us know over there as well. Alright, let me get this last one coated, and I will move you guys over to my stove where we will get these fried up. Alright guys, I got you over at my stove where I have already heated up about 2 tablespoons of canola oil, and I'm just going to start frying these in the oil until they're done, and I'm only going to put in 2 at a time. I don't want to overcrowd my pan. I just want to let them cook and get nice and a little bit crispy on the outside and cooked all the way through. Alright guys, the chicken is done. I'm just removing the last chicken breast from the pan, and I'm going to cover this and set it over to the side until I'm ready for it again. I'm going to go ahead and add in another tablespoon or so of canola oil. And I'm going to add in my shallots and my leeks. I'm going to cook these down just until they start to turn transparent and brown up just a little bit. I want to be sure to scrape up any of the little brown bits that were left from cooking the chicken, because that is going to help make our sauce really yummy. Plus, I will be deglazing the pan here after a bit, after we get all the vegetables sauteed up with the Marsala wine. These have been cooking for about a minute, so I'm going to go ahead and add in my garlic. I didn't want to add it in too soon because I don't want to take the chance of it burning. I think these onions are far enough along that I can put the garlic in without any fear of that. Alright, while that's doing that, the potatoes are done, and I'm going to go ahead and drain these and remove the bay leaf and the rosemary sprig. So I'll be back here in just a minute. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and start melting down 1/4 of a cup of butter that we're going to add into our potatoes, and I'm just using the same pan that I cooked the potatoes in. I'm also going to add in 1/4 of a cup of sour cream, and I'm going to add our potatoes back in. I'm going to turn my heat down on low, and I'm just going to go ahead and start mashing these together until there's no more lumps in them. I'm also going to add in 1/2 of a cup of crumbled blue cheese, or a little bit over, and 1 tablespoon of chopped fresh parsley. I'm just going to stir this all together, and then I will cover this and set it to the side so it will stay warm until we have our chicken marsala done. But before that, I do want to taste this for salt. Now, blue cheese is a very salty cheese, so I don't want to probably add too much, but I do want to check and see where it's at. I think it needs just a little bit of pepper and a small pinch of salt. Alright, I think those are done. I'm going to turn my heat off on them and move them over to the side. Meanwhile, I'm going to check our onions, and I think they are just now starting to turn lightly brown. So I'm going to add in our mushrooms at this point and saute those until they are nice and soft. And again, this was 4 ounces of white button mushrooms, 7 ounces of cremini mushrooms, and 5 ounces of shiitake. And I'm going to add a pinch of salt to them at this point. Which will help them start releasing their water and cooking down. Alright guys, I'm going to let these cook down for a little bit, and I will bring you back when it's time to add the Marsala wine to it. Alright, our mushrooms have cooked down, and we are ready for the next step. So I'm going to add in the 3 dried apricots that I went ahead and sliced. I'm going to stir these in. And I'm also going to add in the 1 cup of Marsala wine. I want to make sure this comes up to a boil to help cook out the strong alcohol taste, as well as to reduce, which is going to help intensify the flavor of the wine. And I want to be sure to scrape up any brown bits that were left on the bottom of the pan from the chicken and the onions and mushrooms cooking, because again, that is just going to add all kinds of flavor into our sauce that we're making. Alright, while that's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and measure out my 1 cup of chicken broth so that I'll have it ready to go once this is reduced. Alright, I've let this boil for a few minutes, and now I'm going to go ahead and add in my chicken broth. And I'm also adding in 1 teaspoon of balsamic vinegar. There we go. Alright, so I'm just going to stir all this together, and I'm going to let this simmer until it's reduced by about a quarter of what's in. Alright, this is reduced to the point that I want it at. And what I'm going to do now is add the chicken back into the pan and let it heat back up in the sauce. So I kind of want to just nestle these down into the sauce and kind of pile the onions and mushrooms on top. Which will help it warm up faster. And if there's any juices that have accumulated on the plate, you want to add those back in, because those are just going to be added flavor in your sauce. So I'm going to have to move one of these over, I think. Alright guys, I'm just going to let this sit here until the chicken has warmed through. And next time I see you, I'll have this all plated up and we'll give it a taste and see what we think about it. Alright guys, our Mutant Mantis, Marsala, and Instamash. I've got them all plated up. And let's get in here and give it a little nibble and see what we think about it. This is pretty good. I think I would actually make this again. I like how many mushrooms are in it, because I'm a big mushroom lover. And the sauce is really good. I like the Marsala wine that's in it. It cooked down really nice and made a lovely sauce. The Instamash actually are not too bad. I think I might make them again. I do like blue cheese, and these are very strongly flavored with the blue cheese. I don't get much rosemary or the bay leaf, which I was more afraid of, because I don't typically cook with a lot of rosemary because I'm not a big fan of it. But yeah, these are really good. I think I will definitely make them again, along with the chicken Marsala. I'm just pairing this with some peas and the spoon rolls that I made. If you guys would like to know how I made the spoon rolls, I will leave a link down in the description below to that video. I will also be leaving a link to the Gamers and Geeks playlist, as well as my Fallout Cookbook playlist. If you guys like this video, leave me a comment. If you guys tried this recipe out for yourselves, let me know how it turned out for you. I'm always interested to find out what you guys think of these recipes. Thank you so much for joining me today. I've been Vault Girl. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I hope I see you in the next one.